And a huge thanks and shout out to Purcell Auto Sales in Camby, Indiana for allowing me to come out and film today. Check out their website with all their used cars, and on with the video. In 1987, with the introduction of the all-new luxury coupes Cadillac Eldorado, Buick Riviera, and Oldsmobile Tornado, GM dominated the market with the E-bodies. Or so they thought. In 1987, GM accounted for 140,000 annual sales of these cars, but when the first sales were actually tallied, over 60% of these sales were non-existent. GM decided that, over the years, they would tweak and update the E-body cars, and in 1991, for the 1992 model year, the newly introduced Cadillac Eldorado was the first of the redesigned cars. Taller, longer, and wider than the outgoing car, the new Eldorado embodied both classic Cadillac luxury and design and melded them with more modern appearance not expected from Cadillac. While GM was never known in the 80s for groundbreaking style, the new Eldorado showed different. The 12th generation ran for its last 10 years of production from 1992 to 2002 and was ultimately replaced by the Cadillac CTS Coupe. Hello everyone, in today's in-depth review we are taking a look at this absolutely gorgeous 1994 Cadillac Eldorado. Now I do believe this is probably the touring coupe, although it may be the base coupe. I am not 100% sure. I'm going to go off the specs based on the touring coupe because they're easier to find. But this car is painted in the gorgeous, very 90s Polo green metallic. And of course, it features the neutral leather interior. It does feature genuine Zebrano wood trim. It is still in excellent shape today. Pricing is shown on screen. Today's review is going to be a full in-depth review of the exterior, the interior, all the mechanical bits, fuel economy, and everything in between. Alrighty, so the Eldorado is front-wheel drive. And when it was introduced in 1992, it actually had Cadillac's tried and true iron block or aluminum block iron head 4.9 liter V8. For the 1992 model or 1993 model year rather, it was upgraded to the 4.6 liter Northstar dual overhead cam 32 valve aluminum block and head V8. Now this new engine was a sequential multi-port fuel injection with a 10.3 to 1 compression ratio, and it created 295 horsepower and 290 pound-feet of torque. Road and track road tested their Eldorado from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 7.2 seconds. 0 to 100 miles per hour was reached in 17.4 seconds. The quarter mile was trapped in 15.3 seconds at 92.2 miles per hour. Its top speed is estimated at a limited 149 miles per hour. Fuel door release for the Eldorado can be found in the glove box. You got your trunk up here, and this white button down here is your fuel door. And the Eldorado requires premium unleaded fuel only. It has a 20 US gallon fuel capacity and consumes 5.6 gallons per 100 miles driven, with an estimated total driving range of around 360 miles, far less than the 500 advertised. EPA fuel economy for this car is 15 miles per gallon city, 23 miles per gallon highway, and a combined average of 18 miles per gallon combined. And the sole available transmission on the Eldorado was GM's Turbo Hydromatic 4-speed 4T80E automatic. It does feature electronic shift control. You can manually shift through the gears here. It also has a pulse width modulated torque converter clutch. Sadly, no manual transmission was ever offered. The car was fully redesigned for the 1992 model year, replacing the aging previous generation. This marked the 12th generation of the Eldorado. Alrighty, as we walk around the rear of the Eldorado, as you can see, it still carries kind of the traditional Cadillac styling, even for a new, much more modern approach. We still have the formal roof line with the gigantic C-pillar here. Edges really, really nicely into the rear window, whereas this panel continues along into the trunk for a very, very nice look to it. Coming down to the pseudo tail fins, very narrow and upright red incandescent bulbs here that serve as your brake lights, your tail lights, and your turn indicators. 32 valve Northstar badging, as well as your Eldorado badging right there in the license plate plinth. Down below you have quad exhaust. You have the Cadillac Motor Car Division badge here. Overall, the rear end styling of the Eldorado is very nice, it's very timeless, still looks good to this day, even though it's 22 years old. Now, as we walk along the profile of the Eldorado, as you can see, the car looks stunning even to this day. Very low miles, I believe just under 70,000 miles on this vehicle. Steering is hydraulically assisted vehicle speed sensitive variable rate rack and pinion with 2.8 turns lock to lock and a 40.2 foot turning radius. Wheels are 16 by 7 inch silver painted squeezed cast aluminums shot on 225/60 ZR16 Michelin X1 all season tires. Brakes are hydraulically assisted 4-wheel disc brakes with 10.9 inch ventilated rotors up front and 11.1 inch solid rotors in the rear. They are assisted by Bosch ABS2 4-channel ABS and full range StabiliTrak traction control. They can halt the Eldorado from 70 miles per hour to 0 in 193 feet. Here in Indiana, it is very hard to find vehicles in this condition of this age. So I'm really glad to be able to present this to you online. Alrighty, and walk around the front of the Eldorado. Just like in the rear, the front end styling is very edgy, even for a Cadillac, especially from this time frame. Doesn't really look like the bloated DeVille or anything like that. Chrome window surrounds, body color mirrors, the sharp crease along the hood, concealed wipers. Coming down to your headlamps here, you do have your front turn indicators. They also have cornering lamps, side marker lights, and of course low and high beam halogen headlamps. And this car does have the chrome grille surround. Alrighty, now of course before we get inside, let's take the obligatory look at the keys. Of course it has Cadillac's gold plated keys. Now you do have two different keys. You got the spare head key for your ignition. It does have the security lock in there. And of course we have the round key for your door locks in your trunk. Also we have remote keyless entry. It is a Cadillac branded remote transmitter. You have your lock and unlock buttons, your lighting, and of course your trunk release. No smart key access system here. Entering the Eldorado is easy with the wide opening doors. The driver and front passenger seats both have 8-way power adjustments with 4-way adjustable lumbar support. In addition, the head restraints are adjustable for both height and tilt. Steering wheel, while tilt adjustable, lacks any telescopic features. Seatbelts are the odd GM 2-piece dual retractor styles, and overall comfort is good with all driver controls falling right at hand. And opening the door, it is a wide opening door, and it reveals a very, very nice, spacious interior. Driver seat's very easy to get into. It's power adjustable. You've also got a leather wrap tilt steering wheel, and GM's unique 3-point belts. And as you can see inside, very, very roomy, very comfortable. Nice large two-tone door panels feature vinyl soft touch material with the Eldorado logo emblazoned in it. You've also got a lighter color down here with a faux French seam. Door pulls, genuine Zebrano wood trim, really, really nice looking there. Chrome door pulls, power locks, power mirrors, and of course power windows, with auto one-touch down for the driver. Carpeted down here, but there is no mat pockets in here. You have your door speakers. Here on the instrument panel, you have your light control. You've also got your Twilight Sentinel, basically automatic headlamps. Down below, you have your emergency parking brake here, hood release right here, and your gas and brake pedals. Full floor mats. Inside, we have 8-way power driver and passenger seat with adjustable lumbar support. Here is a 4-way adjustable lumbar. The very odd two-position seat belts here. And taking a look at these seats. The seats are extremely comfortable and they are very supportive, as one would expect. Even today, these seats are very, very comfortable. Height and tilt adjustable head restraints. The seatbelt does come through this little hole here, but it actually starts in the ceiling itself. And of course, rear passengers have their own entry assist handle. Alrighty, now that we're inside, let's take a look inside. Very fluidic, power assisted steering. Almost little to no effort is required, even at low speeds. 4-spoke, leather wrapped steering wheel. It does have driver and passenger airbag. While that's common nowadays, in the 90s it really wasn't all that common. Some of the controls over here. So we have GM's multifunction control. We have our cruise control, off, on, and resume accelerate here. And our set button is at the end. Wiper washer controls, turn signals, and our high beam and flash to pass. This lever here is your tilt wheel. Does not have a telescoping wheel. And of course your key is over in this section here. And your hazard flashers is this big button right here. Alright, now we don't have the digital instrumentation here. We actually have the analog gauges, which is kind of nice to see. Over here on the right, or the left, however, we do have our fuel economy information here. So it shows our average and our instant, our range, and we can turn the display on and off, turn it from English to metric, and some various buttons here for the lower information center here. And taking a look at the gauges, they're not very many here. We do have a 150 mile per hour speedometer, just a fuel gauge, 7,000 RPM tach. But inside this screen here, we also have our coolant temperature, battery volts, and oil pressure in a digital format. And check out the miles here, 69,935. Over here on the right of the instrument panel is our climate control. Fully adjustable single zone climate. So you have your economy defogger, you can turn the system off, turn it on to auto, set your fan speed there, front and rear defrosters. No panel distribution is available in this. Alrighty, moving over the top of the dash, as you can see, even over time it's held up very, very well. Very uncommon for GM vehicles of this era, but this car is actually holding up very well. It's been very well, nicely taken care of. More of that Zebrano wood trim here. You do have twin positional air vents with their individual on and off levers. AM/FM cassette player, no CD player here. We have our bass and our treble, seek and scan. You can also select your balance and fade for your speakers, on and volume control, your tune, everything there. And behind this little panel here is your ashtray and cigarette lighter. Moving down the center console, beautiful T-handle shifter here, leather wrapped of course. Now we had the multi-level lumbar supports here. They would be in this panel here, but we just have the two-position heated seat controls here for the driver and passenger. And here we have a nice padded armrest. This part pops out to reveal cup holders, and it opens up and it shows a hidden storage area. Overall, I feel that the Cadillac Eldorado's interior has held up very well over time. It is still a very comfortable car, very nice and quiet area. Just very well designed. Alrighty, looking overhead, automatic dimming rearview mirror. We can put our garage door opener in here. We've got sunglasses holder here. We've got our sun visors here. And it does have illuminated vanity mirrors with adjustable lighting. And of course, the sun visors do swing out. They don't slide, but they do have a slide out panel. And overhead, no assist handle for the front seat passengers, but we do have our own individual reading lights. Alrighty, now let's take a look in the rear seat area. Now, before we get in, the Eldorado was, when it was redesigned, it was actually designed to compete head-to-head with Lincoln's new Mark 8 coupe. And one thing that the Eldorado does not have that the Mark 8 does is when you flip the seat forward, the Mark 8 actually has an auto glide feature, which when the seat back is moved forward, the front seat will actually glide forward to allow easier access to the rear seat compartment. Entry to the rear seat is somewhat cumbersome due to the two-door design and the fact that the front seat belts come out of the headliner into guides and are not able to be removed, thereby creating a somewhat embarrassing entry-exit motion. Once inside, however, it is actually quite comfortable. Seat back is at a comfortable recline angle and there are fixed head restraints. In addition, you also have a fold-down center armrest and adjustable climate controls. And once you are back here, you'll see that actually there's quite a bit of room back here. Nice amount of headroom and legroom. And the seats, as you can see, they're nicely sculpted and they're actually reclined several inches backwards, or several degrees rather. It does have integrated head restraints on the outboard seats as well as 3-point belts. You also have a center armrest and a center lap belt if you wish to put a fifth person back here. Good luck with that. Now on the armrest area here, you have the obligatory ashtrays. Here is your fold-down armrest. And of course up here you have lighting and coat hooks. Seat back mat pockets on backs of both seats. In the rear seat you also have 2 positional air vents, fan speed control, and your upper or lower vent selector. That's a really nice touch right there. Alrighty, a couple different ways to get into the trunk. First way is in the glove box. There's a yellow button here on the upper portion. You have your fuel door down here, and your trunk release is right here. Just press that button and the trunk will pop. The other way you could do is take your round key, stick it in the keyhole here, and you turn to the right, and that'll unlatch the trunk. Or you could just use the key fob. Press and hold the trunk button. And it opens up all the way. It's a very nice wide opening trunk with a low lift over height, and the hinges are actually concealed into the panel so they don't squish anything. As you can see, it's a fully lined and fully carpeted trunk area. Emergency release for your fuel door. You do have additional fuses in this little panel here. Compact spare tire with jack and tools in the floor panel below. Do have a cargo net divider here. Of course, the trunk is also illuminated. Alrighty, and that does conclude our in-depth walk-around look at the 1994 Cadillac Eldorado. We hope you found the review informative, and if you did, please comment down below. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/neighborhoodcarreviews and our Instagram channel at BrentsOJ1. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.